things we would do, things we wouldn't do. So for all you future brides out there
and grooms,
be sure to listen up. So we had an 8-month-long engagement from April to December, and that wasn't actually the time of year that we wanted to have our wedding in December. We did not want a winter wedding. No. But honestly, we were virgins on our wedding night, and we needed to get married soon. You're probably thinking 8 months for an engagement is still a pretty long time, but we were kind of thinking, why not just get engaged as soon as possible? And then we were actually shooting for a fall wedding, but it just didn't work out with me moving and finances and everything like that. Yeah. It was a lot more realistic to have it in winter. Yeah, moving from like the continental US up to Alaska, trying to save money, both being pretty young, trying to finish up some schooling, different things like that. There was just a lot of complicated things going on all at once. If you're so set on a certain time of year, make sure that you and your partner talk about the season you want to get engaged in and however long of an engagement you need for it to line up perfectly to have the wedding in the season you want. Some of these things will become, as you look back and you look at your photos, the style of everything, the season you chose to get married in, and how that affected your pictures. There would be some changes that you're probably going to want to make in the future that you don't care about right now. The venue that we chose had a dark green carpet. So when choosing that venue, try to think of your colors and would my colors look good in this space? I think my biggest piece of advice for a wedding is to like stop and look around you and to take note of what's happening, because everything will go so fast in different moments. Like I tried to do that because somebody else gave me that piece of advice. I tried to do that and stop and look around, but there was still moments that are just a blur because it just goes by so fast. There's so much commotion going on and you're the center of attention, whether you like it or not. So it's hard to kind of pay attention to everything. So first of all, I am a control freak. I love to be the one to do things, and I'm very independent. So asking for help was a little bit challenging for me because I wanted to do everything myself to make sure it was perfect, because obviously I'm perfect. Right, baby? You're not perfect, but you do have all the right answers. Yeah, exactly. So make sure that you are that way, to not stress yourself out. Make sure that you have plenty of time to write down specific tasks for whatever person you're going to designate them to, and write them out exactly how you want them done, so that you know that you did your best to make sure that they got done the way you would have done them, and that way you don't have to stress yourself in doing them. Or you could just chill and maybe not be as much of a control freak. Can you though? What's important is you're getting married. And it's going to be a great day. Definitely appoint people that you trust, though. Don't find stupid things to get stressed out about, or you're gonna break down. And the next point, I did my own hair and makeup, or at least that was my goal. I did end up getting help with both of them for certain parts, but honestly, it was it was a little bit of a mess. I had planned and practiced for months ahead of time. I did not practice enough, and I did not account for the fact that I would be insanely stressed and my mind would be elsewhere. So yeah, basically the wedding was held up because I was doing my own hair and makeup, and I wish, ladies, if you're thinking of doing your own hair and makeup, practice like a year ahead of time, honestly. Make sure that you do it when you only have like 20 minutes to get out the door or something, so that you're like used to having that pressure and doing it with the pressure. And yeah, honestly though, my biggest piece of advice is just get it done professionally. It's worth the money because it makes you enjoy the day so much more, so you don't have to think about it. I thought she looked fantastic. This is clearly a girl thing. It was a lot to get there though. I don't know. I thought you looked stunning, and it's ridiculous to be stressed out about like whether your brush strokes were correct or something. So something we did was have our honeymoon later. Basically though, our piece of advice is to enjoy the wedding night, especially if you're virgins, and to enjoy the next couple days, but don't stress about having your honeymoon straight after the wedding. Because honestly, at least for us, and it's different couple to couple, but we did not want to leave our hotel. So say we would have done our our honeymoon in Italy or something like that, spent all this money gone to Italy, but all you want to do is stay in your room, that would have been kind of like a waste of a vacation.
I would just say I think it's a really good idea to go to a more local hotel or somewhere close by that you can pick that's really special and just stay there for like 2 days before you fly out.
So we actually had a really nice blessing. My mother-in-law, Justin's mom, actually paid for us to have a surprise limo exit, which was the coolest thing. It was actually really funny because I don't know what was wrong with the heat, but it was on full blast, and it must have been 90 degrees in there. So we were literally like, don't touch me, get off me. So we're like laying in the floor of the limo, just like trying to fan ourselves.
We were like all sprawled out. Part of us was like, is this guy like trying to kill us? He's kidnapping us and like cooking us to death in here. So it was really cool. We had like champagne, and it was really, really cool. And there was like lights in there, it colored decorative lighting and everything, and it was really cool and comfortable. Really nice way to get to where we were going, and a great surprise, but very uncomfortable with the heat thing. And we were like searching all over for a thermostat, how to turn the heat down. We could not find anything, and yeah, I suppose we probably could have just knocked on the window and asked the guy to turn the heat down. Anyways, it was kind of funny coming out of our exit because we did a sparkler exit, and we came out, and once we got to the end of, you know, the whole sparkler rows of people, our family was waiting there for us, and we said goodbye and all that kind of stuff. And we were supposed to be getting in our car that we had to drive, and I hadn't, at this point, I'm standing, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm standing right next to the limo, like literally right next to it, and I haven't noticed it's there yet. And so we're talking. It was
black outside, and the limo
it was dark outside. But we're talking to our family and giving them hugs and everything like that. And everyone's like starts kind of looking at me weird, like I haven't noticed anything. And I'm just kind of like, what? And then like you see that? And I like looked, and I see this SUV, because it was an SUV limo. I see the back of this SUV, and I was like confused, like why is there an SUV right here? And then I kind of just like. And they're like, I looked back at them. I looked back at them, and then they looked at me, and I just kind of kept looking down the side and realized the SUV just kept going and going and going, and then it clicked, and I was like, oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, if you can avoid it, I would definitely recommend getting a driver.
Because it gave you time to be able to just talk about what just happened, the wedding, the ceremony, have some champagne, and enjoy that time together. So that was really nice and really special.
Before it was like ready to get it on, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, and our last piece of advice that literally everyone says, but we could have listened to it a little bit better, was get the very best photographer you can afford.
Yeah.
We did this. We went with a mutual friend who was a professional photographer, and our wedding photos are fine. They're not bad whatsoever, but we assumed we would get a discount. We did not. And basically we realized for the same price there are a lot better photographers out there. So basically do your research.
And we would have spent more money on it looking back now.
Yeah.
If it meant cutting out a little bit of other areas, we probably would have done it just to have a little bit better quality, more options, because that I think is kind of the biggest area. Is we don't have a lot of diversity in our photos.
Part of that's the season, but then again,
it's winter.
The photographer could have done a lot better with different poses and such.
And on top of that, we decided that if we have photos and we have people and family and stuff taking videos, we didn't need a videographer. That is probably my biggest regret, is we have no wedding video. We have like clips of footage from people and friends and family that were nice enough to agree to take some.
We don't have a professional.
Yeah, we have no professional, which would have been really, really nice to be able to look back on that every year.
But even like my brother has a drone now. If you know of anyone that has a drone, that's a simple way to get a wedding video that looks super cool and professional. It's the only thing you're gonna take away from your wedding and look back on.
Yeah, you'll have memories and photos, and eventually memories, you'll forget little bits and everything like that, but the photos can bring those back, and having really good ones is a really important thing, I think.
Honestly, talking about our wedding, I'm just like ready to get married all over again.
Good thing we did it already.
Well, guys, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for your support, taking the time Please be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.